This program is brought to you by the Media Liberty Alliance Foundation in cooperation with OBBM Network TV, bringing citizen-led, creative local media to the forefront of local communities to foster a greater understanding of constitutional liberty and appreciation of what makes us truly free, starting with you and me.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're updated each time fresh content comes out. And thank you for being part of the Zach Ratliff Show.
The Zach Ratliff Show is sponsored by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Exceed Health Clinic, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org. Hello, and welcome to a supplemental episode of the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. This is Adam.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, Adam? I feel like we've got some important stuff to talk about.
Well, so, I know you're running for precinct chair, and I'm hopefully going to live long enough to be installed as a precinct chair. I feel like I'm not hearing myself well enough, and maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, I want to address some things. I see lots of comments, and I think I've even said this with you before here. Uh-huh. I see lots of comments across social media saying that you've even said it many times yourself that we hate the Republican Party because they won't do X, right? They won't.
They're
stand
never
up for,
for you when you need them.
They're never there when you need them.
Yeah.
They're not willing to fight the fight. I mean,
cowards and scallywags, Adam.
The Democrats will run all over you if they have power. We've seen that.
Yes.
Hashtag Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
Which we have
and
to
John
pass
McCain
before we can read it.
Who was a Democrat.
So anyway, I just I want people to understand what the Republican Party of Texas stands for.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of our representatives don't follow those principles that the Republican Party of Texas has, the grassroots people believe in these principles, and these principles are what we use a lot of the times to hold our our representatives and senators, I guess, accountable. And I think a lot of people just probably have not taken the time to pull the document up and read through the principles. I think what I want to try to communicate is a lot more folks might actually be and consider themselves a Republican if they'd read through this list or at least consider it.
Well, that's right. Let me read this preamble to our Texas Constitution.
Sure.
And because reading...
Wait a minute. That's the preamble to the RPT platform.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, that's a little bit different then. And that's fine.
Actually, no.
No, it's not. I was like, well, no, I'm reading it. No, it looks pretty close. Okay. One of my God-given talents is I can read.
You have a little DJ voice there.
Yeah.
You can read too, yeah. That's important.
Yeah, well, I didn't say anything about my voice. I can just read. Affirming our belief in God, we still hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Throughout the world, people dare to dream of freedom and opportunity. The Republican Party of Texas unequivocally defends that dream. We strive to preserve the freedom given to us by God, implemented by our founding fathers, and embodied in the Constitution. We recognize that human nature is immutable. We further recognize that traditional family is the strength of our nation. It is our solemn duty to protect innocent life and develop responsible citizens. We understand that our economic success depends upon free market principles. If we fail to maintain our sovereignty, we risk losing the freedom to live these ideals.
That sounds like a lot of political stuff, doesn't it?
It sounds like a dream country.
It does. And what does it start with?
God.
Affirming our belief in God.
Yeah.
And we go from there, okay?
So our Republican Party claims to start with God.
What I'm about to lay out here, there's 10 principles. What I'm about to lay out, every one of them, I believe we're going to find is relative to something out of the Bible. Okay?
I like it.
I think everything here we're going to find is godly.
Yeah.
And it's required
Oh, even better.
for our society to live amongst each other peacefully.
Okay.
So, I guess without further ado,
Yeah, let it roll.
let's read the first two lines there. It says principles. We, the 2024, this was adopted in 2024 at the state convention.
We'll have a new one this year.
We're going to have a new one this year, and I think it's important for any Republican that can take a week off and might have a little money to fund the trip. It does get expensive. I want as many Bowie County Republicans to show up in Houston at the state convention to have their say and to hear the conversations that might happen down there.
I'm a working stiff, so I don't have a week.
Well,
But we can figure it out. But we need those that can represent us that do.
right.
and that
The
believe these
convention
things.
is actually Thursday through Saturday around lunchtime. They might even go a little bit longer, but at some point, if they go too far, we get kicked out of the building and fined a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
So anyway, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and to and from Houston, and some hotel costs. You
Yeah.
you don't have time to eat. We're too busy.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll be there Monday through Saturday to work with the committee work. I think Dale mentioned some of that the other day. But anyways, we, the 2024 Republican Party of Texas, believe in this platform and expect our elected leaders to uphold these truths through acknowledgement and action. We believe in, number one.
You want me to read it?
Sure.
Number one, the laws of nature and nature's God. And we support the strict adherence to the original language and the intent of the Declaration of Independence and the constitutions of the United States and of Texas. I mean, that's an hour show right there.
Exactly.
Or more.
Exactly. So the first thing, the laws of nature and nature's God. I'm in a lot of chat groups on Signal, text groups, things like that. And there's this guy.
You're a right-wing nut that's on Signal? Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And if you're not careful, people say things that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And you learn something from it. You know?
Absolutely.
So there's a guy, and I won't call his name, but somebody will say, we need a law that says this. We need a law that does that. Or we need a platform that does this. And his response every time, well, the laws of nature and nature's God would say we don't.
Well, our Constitution, in the framing of the U.S. Constitution, it was made as a limit on government, not a law of what we could do,
Right.
a law of what our government can't do.
So, I at some point in trying to get educated about all this stuff in the last 4 or 5 years, I did a little research. What are the laws of nature and nature's God?
Yeah.
Well, there's nowhere that write out the laws of nature and nature's God. There's no Bible verse that says the law of nature and nature's
You
God.
can start with 10 of them.
So I said, where does this come from? You know where it comes from? The United States Declaration of Independence. You want to read that?
Yeah.
Well, not even read that. If you've never read the Declaration of Independence, the first paragraph basically says, here we are. Sometimes, as a society, we have to break apart from other parts of our society.
Yeah.
Okay?
The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
So I was in a hurry a while ago trying to get out of the house, and I thought, you know what? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
That was written 250 years ago.
Hallelujah.
This year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can put that good old boy on it if you want me to.
Well,
you want me to read it to you in
that's kinda what I
redneck?
was going to say is real quick and simple. you go through a whole lot of phrases. I don't know what we call those phrases, prepositional phrases and such.
Not my strength.
Just qualifications of this statement. It says that we believe sometimes we got to break up as countries or something like that. And it says
to follow God's law, and any good thinking man would do so.
And it says a decent respect to the opinions. A respectful person would say, we're going to declare why we need to do this. Rather than just go to war and do it, we're going to lay out the reasons why. And that's what the Declaration of Independence was. And they signed it and they sent it to the king. And the king sent the redcoats. So anyways, in that paragraph, it says...
We handled them twice.
Just twice?
At least twice.
I think they're back. Seriously, though, that was one of my posts on something the other day. Read the, it was about the Declaration of Independence. This whole thing is a list of grievances that they had with England.
And we have them again.
And they're still here.
Yeah, I saw that post here.
So, anyways, it says, to which the laws of nature and nature's God. And that's the reference.
Yeah.
Back then, they lived by the laws of nature and nature's God.
What? Our founders believed in God? Absolutely.
I mean, unacceptable,
Was
right?
it Madison that said that our Constitution wouldn't hold up for an immoral people?
That's exactly what happened. They took this and they went and wrote a document that said, basically, we believe in God,
Yeah.
and we trust Him to govern us because we live in His Spirit. His Spirit lives in us.
Yeah.
And if we treat each other, and that's, again, we're going to get into that more. But the laws of nature and nature's God. And this guy I was talking about, he argues that the moment you pass a law, you're nullifying the laws of nature and nature's God. And it'd probably take us a good hour to work through that. But that's his point. When you pass that law, then you're nullifying any legal stance that you could take based on religion,
Right.
Christianity specifically. So anyway, we support the strict adherence to the Declaration of Independence and the constitutions of the United States and of Texas. I asked the question to somebody the other day when it refers to the Constitution. In fact, I believe it was in the preamble you wrote there. It says, and embodied in the Constitution. Is that the Texas Constitution or the United States?
It's both.
Something we could modify at state convention.
Yeah.
So anyways, so the first principle is we're going to start with the laws of nature and nature's God, and we're going to stick to the Declaration of Independence and to the Constitution.
Yeah.
And we're going to go from there. So we've got a United States that has founded itself on some documents and some beliefs. And then we go from there. Number 2.
The sanctity of innocent human life, created in the image of God, who was mentioned before. He doesn't say that part. Which should be equally protected from fertilization to natural death.
I can think of one exception. To this.
Death penalty.
Do we believe in the death penalty?
Yeah.
You know, hey, it's in the Bible, is it not?
And we do. If we're talking about me.
So there's a certain, again, respect that we give life. It is we respect the sanctity of innocent human life created in the image of God. I mean, we are created in the image of God.
The Bible says that God knows every hair on our head, and He knew us when we were sewn together in our mother's womb. And that's why fertilization is in there from the moment. And here's the deal with science, right? Because that's the whole thing about, even if you get into evolution, they didn't know what was inside an atom. They didn't know, but now you can watch life create with a flash.
Exactly.
I mean, it's happening.
I have read or been told that when a person is laying on their deathbed and they die, that their weight drops by like a pound. That their weight instantly when they die, when they take their last breath.
Wow.
I mean, we see a spark at fertilization, and there's some kind of
shift.
I don't want to call it evidence because I don't remember where I saw it, but I've
read that too. It's the thoughts that the soul's leaving the body.
There's a spiritual energy there, I guess you say.
Well, because if you cut off all your arms and legs, you're still you. But
true.
if you die, you're not. So your body's not you.
This is true.
All right, go ahead. Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Sure.
Number 3, preserving. Sorry, let me get that word. See it. Preserving individual Texan and American sovereignty and freedom.
I'm a sovereign citizen.
Golly, I enjoy watching some of those videos, but they wear me out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. It says we believe in our individual sovereignty, but we have to. Well, there again, do we have to obey laws? Because again, the laws of nature and nature's God, right? Mm-hmm. There's people in our society that do not believe in God
or laws
or nature.
Yeah, well,
you know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, part of when I was going back into the laws of nature, there's certain things that we discuss about nature that you can't argue.
Right.
There's a man and there's a woman.
Oh no! So you talking crazy?
And the man is not going to get pregnant, right? Well,
yeah, not in your world.
So that's where we come into this. It's the laws of nature. So individual Texan and American sovereignty and freedom. We want to protect and freedom. There's another word for freedom called liberty. It's not exactly the same word, but close. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, Number four, limiting government power to those items enumerated in the United States and Texas constitutions. Once again, the Constitution, as set up, is a limiting document. It's a restrainer of government. That's why all the statewide and nationally, all these agencies that come out of it are unconstitutional. And if it's not in the Constitution, we don't do it. We don't have to follow the law. You know, the Constitution is kind of like you said the word document. What are your maybe it was you I was listening to said something to somebody about what document do you hold yourself to? What document forms your morals? Well, for me and you, that's the Bible. Yeah. And there's a lot of folks out there that are just kind of grabbing at thin air at morals. Right, because if you separate morals from the Bible, you have no morals. That's right. All right, number 5, personal accountability and responsibility. What a crazy concept. I mean, there's a scripture that says eye for an eye, you know? Yeah. You need to be personally accountable for what you do and responsible. You know, I don't care if you don't have a family, you need to be responsible for yourself. Yeah. I don't want you dependent on the government. So... But you won't vote for them if you do. Yeah. All right. Number 6, self-sufficient families. What? Founded on the traditional marriage of a natural man and a natural woman. And once again, everybody, what we're reading are the principles of the Texas Republican Party. Marriage of a natural man and a natural woman. The laws of nature. What was that commercial that had that song? You got me. A natural woman. Oh, yeah. Or a natural man. Yeah. Self-sufficient families. If only. You know, I don't remember what I was thinking about earlier, but I was thinking about the Hebrews, and they had a day of Jubilee. Mm-hmm. Maybe was it? There was something about freedom. It's all about freedom. Well, yeah, it's all about freedom. But anyways, you know, the Bible, God's law, sets us to be free, mm-hmm. to the point that even if we have debt, this is back in the Hebrew times. Mm-hmm. There was a day of Jubilee every 7 years, I believe, where you'd be set free from your debt. He didn't want you being a slave to somebody because you owed him money. Exactly. And so that was part of their business deals. You know, if you bargained on a piece of land, mm-hmm. that land's supposed to be paid off before the 7-year term. Right. Yep. So, that's exactly right. Anyway. Okay. Number 7. Sure. Having an educated population with parents having the freedom of choice for the education of their children. And I just did an interview earlier, and you all hear it whenever you hear it, with a candidate. And my whole point was, I'm for as localized education as we can get. Local teachers, local school boards, local superintendents making decisions locally. I've got this idea, and this came about a couple years ago with the debate for school choice. You know, mm-hmm. I didn't know what the respective bills that had ever been filed said. I'd never taken the time to read them. But in my opinion, the whole deal was over the vouchers.
Yeah.
We don't want people who are already paying out of their own pocket for their kids' private education, getting government funding to do it too. If they can afford it now, they should continue paying for it. I came up with this idea, and I'm sure somebody else has had it before, but how about instead of just a few kids getting a voucher, getting approved for a voucher, how about every Texas child be put into a voucher system? And every parent walk up to the front desk of their school, and here's your account number, and charge it. And you can pick whatever school you want to, and the people that administer the school are called the school board. There's no TEA to get involved. The accounts are handled by the comptroller, so having an educated population, hey, that's in the Texas Constitution, by the way. It says free education. Freedom of choice. That's my idea, but this is an RPT platform, and I know a lot of teachers are going to argue about this, but this is where I come into the point where maybe a lot of our teachers have a more socialistic outlook than these principles.
Yeah, maybe they do.
And I'm a government employee, and I respect your tax dollars funding my salary.
You smell of government filth.
And by the way, I had a very successful morning in figuring out the results of what I've been working on for the last 6 weeks. So my salary is justified.
Not smell. It's a joke for all of you.
I am noticing
pansies.
I'm getting wet under the arms.
Number 7. No, we've done
8.
number 7. Number 8. The inalienable right of all people to defend themselves and their property. Here's what I like about this. 1, the ability to defend yourself. But 2, it's amazing. And I don't think most people that listen to this certainly can. But if you watch this, and a lot of people do, I don't know that they can see how many weapons come in here. And it's a neat thing to know how many people are armed, and nobody, it's always safe. It's always a safe environment.
The whole thing, I wasn't involved when it happened in politics, but the whole constitutional carry thing, I don't want to carry open. I might wherever I'm at that it's reasonable, but I'm not just going to open carry everywhere.
Right.
I don't want to be the one that the guy points at and says, well, that's my first opponent.
Yeah.
That's
right.
So,
I had a grandpa that was pretty eccentric, and he'd go double shoulder holster, and he was packing
2 double barrel shotguns on the shoulder.
He was packing 2 pistols just to make a show of it, and but he was a nice guy, easy to get along with. But I mean,
he's prepared.
He was open about it, and he was open carrying everywhere he went. We hit a store in Louisiana one day, and
did you say you hit a store in Louisiana?
Yeah, we went into a store. Yeah, I guess that's wrong verbiage. We went into a store in Louisiana. They're like, "Sir, you can't carry that," and he goes, "Yes, I can."
You want to stop me?
Yeah, and basically anyway, that was been years ago, but he open carried everywhere he went.
Yeah.
And then defend your property. I'm okay with defending your property.
The meme Steve sent us this morning. Did you see that one?
I don't, man.
It wasn't a meme. It was a video of the cops walking a guy. Apparently, he called and reported an intruder in his house, and the cop walks in the door and says, "Where's he at?" And the dude's excited.
Oh, I did see that.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't think they'd ever break in. That guy is on TikTok. Has some good stuff.
Never thought I'd have this opportunity. Here, let me show you where he's at. And he picks his legs up and starts
to drag him out.
Sir, put.
Yeah, which I pray to never be in that situation. Right. But I like to be in a state where if I have to defend my family, I'm able to do that.
It reverts back to number 2, the sanctity of human life. Innocent human life, but no matter.
It's life.
If you believe in salvation, you believe in God's forgiveness of anything. And so it says sanctity of innocent human life, but even somebody who's wronged you, do they really deserve to die in this moment?
Yeah, because are any of us innocent in the biblical sense? The answer is no.
Right. So, anyway.
So, number 9. Now, I like this one. Number 9 is a free enterprise society, unencumbered by government interference and subsidies. Now, you and I differ on some issues, and it has to do with usage of private property. However, your solution, I don't know if it's your solution, one of the solutions you back differs from mine. However, I'm a just get rid of all subsidies guy, which you are too.
Yeah.
And then that brings us back around to agreeing on
the private property.
private property.
Yeah, you own property. You do what you want on it. I would hope you would try to be a peaceful neighbor, but the Republican Party of Texas believes in a free enterprise society, so you can do your business as you choose. But we do not endorse. We do not want government interference and subsidies.
I don't like them. I don't like them for anybody, for anything.
And I'm going to tell you what. The rules for the RPT have been getting stronger concerning censure. And we're not just talking about being able to censure a state rep or a senator. You could censure the governor if he did something serious enough.
Right.
And not just serious enough. There's certain numbers of things you have to, you know. Well, that also goes the other direction, all the way down to the local Republican elected officials,
Well, and it should be, right? I'm in a group here in town, and I had to sign a confidentiality agreement today, and I also had to sign a standards agreement. And we're going to uphold, it's not these rules, but we're going to uphold these rules, and we're going to live by these standards. And if you're representing this group, this is what you do. And so I signed that. Well, I've signed it for the last 3 years, and I've got at least 3 more years that I'm agreeing to do that.
Did they go against this?
Nope. No.
Zach finds himself between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, no, they don't go against my Christian beliefs for sure. Okay, let's see what else we got.
Yeah.
Number 10, honoring all of those who serve and protect our freedom. I think that's easy.
What? Something just crossed my mind. Why does this last? We wouldn't be here. I mean, going back to our forefathers, we wouldn't be here unless we were constantly protecting our freedom and respecting that. So, but yeah, we want to honor veterans and not even veterans, but law enforcement. And I can think of a couple of cases where even firefighters, first responders are responsible for protecting our freedom.
Well, and I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm glad you want to do this because these are our core tenets. Now, there's more to it. There's a lot of, I like the term inside baseball. There's a lot of that. But if you want to know what Republicans believe, and especially in Texas, here it is. This is who we at least claim to be.
Right. Well, and it's who the party wants to be.
Yes.
So, our I don't want to call names. It's pretty obvious already, but these 10 principles are what we set our standards as. And if you want, here's the biggest issue I've had in the last couple of years. If you want to run for any office as a Republican, you need to have a firm understanding and a firm belief and a firm agreement in these 10 principles.
Well, and you've said this before in the past year. Just like I told you, I signed that agreement today that there were certain, for the organization that I represent, there are certain things I'm going to agree to, or I can be thrown out of it. Right. I think, and I've heard you say this. Hey, here's what we believe. Sign on that you understand that this is what you represent. Now, if you don't sign it, you can call yourself whatever you want to, but you don't get the Republican money. You don't get the Republican backing. You don't get, right? Is that where?
It's not even that. It's you don't run in the Republican primary in March. You run in either the Democrat or a Libertarian or whatever party you want to form. I'm not against seeing people jump together and form another party. But we have this, form your own and have a primary with people that agree to run for that, to work off of that. Yeah. Or just be an independent and run and file to run in November along, against everybody else.
Well, and
how cool would it be to have a Republican, 5 independents, and a Democrat?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I don't know. It'd get kind of complicated, but
right.
In the end, we wouldn't be so divided by you're one of those nasty old Republicans and you're one of those nasty old Democrats. I'll be nice.
Yeah. But I talk a lot about, and I have recently for sure, about principles and having principles. And as much as I don't like the Republican, and look, nationwide, we hear it all the time. Well, it's the lesser of two evils right now. I don't want to be the lesser of two evils.
Exactly.
Here's what we stand for. I want people that have the courage and about them the wherewithal to say, this is what I stand for. And you don't have to, but you don't get to say that you're this.
And my whole point for all of this is if you run as a Republican and you're not willing to vote based on these ideas, this is conversation with me and you.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to vote on the House floor or the City Council or City Council's nonpartisan, isn't it? But you get my
Nothing's
point.
nonpartisan. They might claim to be. But.
Right, exactly. So, county commissioner, if you're not willing to vote based on these things, then perhaps you don't need to be a Republican candidate.
Well, because here, let's go one step further. My church host forums, and you go there.
Yep. Sometimes,
right? But host forums, they catch a lot of heat online about, why would your church tell you what to do? Why would your church, one, they don't tell you to vote for it. They're like, here's what we believe as a church. Go research what the parties believe. Go research what the candidates believe. Because if you trust this person to lead you out of hell, why would you not trust them to be like, hey, you might look at these parties.
Politics lead us through life. And if your politics are based on Bible, on Scripture, then it's just that much better.
Well, but like you said, on this, here's what I can't separate. Oh, we don't need somebody that's going to let their religion guide their politics. What else guides it?
Exactly. Because
what are we considering a religion? A faith system? Well, climatology, faith system. Scientology, yeah.
It's kind of a weird faith, but yeah.
Yeah, or you could do evolution is turned into a faith system.
Yep.
Or even creationism is a faith system. There are all these that guide everything we believe.
It goes back to the debate of you'll worship something. Every one of us worships something.
It might be the Dallas Cowboys.
And you may not realize where your faith is.
Yeah.
But you're worshiping something.
Absolutely. Mine's Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, and the flack we've seen online about the churches hosting these things, it's not like...
And then when somebody gets called out, another anonymous post comes up. Did you see that earlier today?
Yeah. Oh, today?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
That's great.
It's probably because I was actually trying to work this morning.
I know, I hear you.
But, yeah, a lot of folks were upset that a state rep or several state reps got censured in Texas over the last year, but it's because of these principles.
Well, and it's bigger than those state reps.
It is.
It's about the principles. It's about who you claim to be.
Exactly.
Who you want to say. And the candidate I had on earlier today, we talked about. I told him my 3 principles. I believe Jesus is the Lord. He is God. He's part of the triune God. Belief in him and acceptance of him is the only way to heaven. After that, my 2nd principle is I'm a dad. After that, my 3rd principle is I'm a son.
Mm-hmm.
After all of this comes after that.
Yep.
But there's nothing I do in my day where I'm like, oh, it doesn't come through those filters. And if it doesn't, let me tell you, if I don't run it through those 3 filters, I feel bad about whatever I've done at the end of it, because the decisions I make with these 3 filters, if I turn them off and just go with carnal Zach, it's a whole different outcome that I am ashamed of.
Right. I was thinking on the way down here, you've got those 3, and I don't disagree, and I probably could say that, but that's yours.
Oh, yeah,
For me, when somebody asks me about an issue or expects me to respond to something, my first instinct is how do I respond to this with love toward all? Because
not my first instinct.
Again,
that's why I have to throw it back to Jesus. But he also made a whip and drove people out of the temple.
I didn't even finish what I was thinking.
I'm sorry.
I cut myself off.
Okay.
When I read the Bible, my overall consensus of the Bible is God loves us.
Yeah.
But he's a just God. You heard Dale sitting here yesterday mention he's not just the lamb, he's the lion. It's funny because I read in this book early yesterday morning that verse.
Oh, is that where that came from?
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know where Dale got it, but the Christian duty to resist tyranny.
Yeah.
This book, it's with commentary on the Doctrine of Lesser Magistrates. If you've never read that book, The Doctrine of Lesser Magistrates, you need to go get it. It's like $20 on Amazon. This one is The Christian Duty to Resist Tyranny, and this book starts with the laws of nature and nature's God out of the Declaration, goes into the Constitution. I mean, it is the Christian's duty. That's the whole purpose of the United States. The Christian's duty to resist England's tyranny.
Absolutely.
And here we are.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, we've got a meeting to go to. We've got a Senate candidate for U.S. to meet, and so that's what we're going to do. Adam, preferred listener, I appreciate you coming in, man.
Man, I'm glad you're doing this podcast. I think a lot of people are learning a lot of good things out of it, getting a lot of
If not, they're
entertainment
getting
out
to
of
look at some good-looking guys, you know?
it. Yeah, it's questionable.
All right, I hope God blesses each and every one of you today.